What up, y'all? Star Wars Steph here, and we're going to be taking a look at the results of the Star Wars Unlimited 5K tournament that happened this weekend down in Florida. Now, this was a really cool tournament. There was actually 143 players that signed up for this thing and competed, and it was 8 rounds of Swiss and cut to a top 16 that was played out until the late hours of Sunday night. It was pretty cool. I was watching the stream. It was on Twitch, so next time they have one of these, make sure to go check it out. At least the finals, at least some of the top 8 matches. It was cool to even catch some of the Swiss rounds, see some cool decks. So, out of the 143 players, the top 16 cut down to 4 Bobas, 3 Sabine Green, 1 Sabine Yellow, 1 Vader Green, 2 Vader Blue, a Pout Blue, a Luke Green, a Krennic Green, a Leia Red, and a Han Red. Now that's a pretty interesting cut. So, headed into top 8, the decks that made it through, it was going to be 2 Sabine Greens, 2 Boba Greens, a Vader Green, a Luke Blue, a Bean Yellow, and a Vader Blue. Pretty interesting, pretty cool. We're going to be taking a look at the deck list here in a second, but let's just take out the top 4 real quick before I tell you who won this tournament. So the top 4 was 1 Green Bean, 1 Boba Green, 1 Luke Green, so three command decks. Green is pretty strong, and 1 Vader Blue. So the finals ended up actually being Guy here with his Vader Blue deck versus Andrew Cox in their Boba Fett Green deck. So yeah, spoiler alert, Vader did end up winning this tournament, which was pretty cool to see. Yeah, but let's actually take a look at the top 4 deck list. So this was the Get Out of My Swamp. Shout out to Guy Cohen on the dub. A couple of one-ofs, interesting one-ofs, but let's go through the deck real quick. Okay, we got the 30 base, really important. Vader, everybody knows what he's good for. He's just comes out and yeah, clears the board. Clears the board and does a lot of damage. So we have 3 Stormtroopers, to trigger Vader in the early game, Force Lightning, a one-of bomb that can be used to actually pop a whole bunch of, anything pretty much. If you play it on the right turn with the Force unit out, which the only Force units you have are Palp and Vader, so the one-of actually makes a lot of sense because they're not going to really be playing this early. But yeah, you can blow up pretty much anything with unlimited power. Shout out to Palpatine. 1 restock. This is going to put 4 cards from the bottom of their deck, from their discard pile on the bottom of their deck. This is going to be for the mirror and for other control matchups that are playing Vigilance, as this deck is. 2 Infernal 4 to manipulate your top deck. 3 Entrenched. You're going to slap this on the likes of Boba's Fire Spray. And yeah, this is pretty good. Or maybe they're playing heavy into space. You have something else you want to throw in there. Put it on something, and then you don't really interact with that arena for the rest of the game, as they won't be able to attack the base. 3 Force Choke, just amazing removal, even at 2. 2 Viper Probe Droid, a really good card just to take stock of what's in your opponent's hand. 3 Power of the Dark Side, your opponent defeats a unit. The card is probably one of the better removals that we have. 3 Make an Opening. Of course, this card's pretty good, does some heal. Gets rid of pesky shielded units like the Crafty Schmuggler and the 7th Fleet Defender. We have Open Fire, 3 of those, which is really good for 3, dealing 4 damage. There's not much 3 costs, even in a unit that deals 4 damage. So, yeah. I Am Your Father. This is actually really good because when paired with this, if they give you the 3 cards and then you drop this during the next turn and you just reveal 4 blue cards, this comes out as a 6/6 Sentinel. Speaking of 6/6 Sentinel, yeah, Lieutenant Childson, we saw this in both of the Vader Blue decks. If you want to take a look at the other deck lists, I'll have the PPG website linked in the comments, and it actually takes you to all these deck lists that I'm showing you here. Yeah, so the Childson probably put in a ton of work. The Vigilance also is going to heal 5 from your base, and then you mill from your opponent, or it can be used as a removal spell because it can defeat something with 3 or less, including leader units, which is actually really big. So this card being played out of Aspect just makes a ton of sense and is so good. 3 Sentinels for the Sky, that makes sense. We have 3 Takedowns, great for your Bobas, your Sabines, your damaged up Fett's Fire Sprays. Yeah, really good removal. 1 Imperial Interceptor. Now this is a card that, as I've been playing Vader Blue lately, I've been finding, I've cut this to 2, and this might just let me know that I need to maybe bump it down to 1. We have 2 Vanquished here. This card's really good as well. But I guess having it at 2 is a little bit better. Okay, Super Laser Blast. This is the card that everybody needs to be on the lookout for when your opponent gets to about 8 resources and you have a pretty big field and you haven't really finished them off yet. Yeah, this card's going to come down and ruin your day. And it's really good actually with Entrenched too, because you can slap this on something in the early game, leave it there, not being able to attack your base, and then later, you know, deal with everything. 2 Palps, you're just going to spread more unlimited power all over the field. 6 damage counters being spread is amazing. And Avenger, more of your top end. When it comes in, defeats the unit. When it attacks, defeats the unit. And after you've controlled your opponent out of the game, dropping one of these and swinging a couple times should finish them off. Onto the sideboard, we have 3 Repair. Heal 3 from a unit or from your base, so I guess you put this in against aggro. I take it you probably put this in against aggro too, but I'm not sure what you're attaching it to. It gives your unit Restore. Yeah, but I'm not 100% sure what you're attaching it to. Maybe when your Sentinels, I don't know, but then they're targeting down your Sentinels. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Maybe you throw it on Vader as well as the Vader Saber. I would like to see maybe 1 or 2 of these actually in the main deck. If you're really thinking that Vanquished isn't that good, and or the Interceptor, or maybe even one of these. I don't know, I just love playing this when I flip my Vader out on the field. 1, Search Your Feelings, makes sense. It'll search for any card that they need. It gives you pretty much a 4th copy of Super Laser Blast, and a 2nd copy of Force Lightning, and a 4th copy of Vigilance. Anything you need in that situation. So this card's actually really, really busted as well. Probably sided in a control matchup. 1 Bombing Run, pop 3 on the field, and then a card that I have been championing, and that is going to be Forced Surrender. It's going to just rip 2 from your opponent's hand and you draw 2. So if you have them in a situation where they only have 2 left, yeah. That is the deck list for the winner. Next, onto the Boba Green list. Now, this is really interesting to see. So they got the Recruit. This is pretty much a search your top 5 cards of your deck for a unit, any unit, reveal it, put it in your hand. I take it that they're playing this because turn 1, you can drop it and a Greedo, or if you have Greedo and it can search you out whatever your opponent is doing to lane dodge you. Say maybe you need the Super Laser Technician because they're playing heavy into ground, we can grab that. If you need to go into space, we'll get the Cartel Spacer, which actually they don't play. Sorry, we'll get the 7 Feet Defender. Yeah, this list is actually very interesting with only 6 space units. But I guess this is going to be your possible 7th and 8th space unit as well. They do side in 5 more, but yeah, so 2 of those, 3 Greedos, 2 Shoot First, amazing synergy with it, and Boba's Effect with like a Greedo or a Crafty Smuggler. 2 No Good To Me Deads. This card is probably pretty good at 2. You really want to be saving it for the later parts of the game. Maybe when something super big comes out, or their leader. 3 Crafty Smugglers coming in shielded. 3 Surprise Strike. Just, yeah, what can you say? 2 Probe Droids and 3 Super Laser Tech. I mean, I feel like they're pretty light on early game ground units, and I guess that's what the Recruit really does, makes up for that. 3 Resupply, 3 Bobas, 3 7th Fleet Defenders, 3 Waylay. Very interesting. Usually you see this as a 3 of and this is a 2 of, or this is a 3 of and this is a 2 of. But yeah, obviously it worked for them. 2 Cunnings in deck, out of aspect. The Gamorrean Guards as a Sentinel, and it's a 4/4 body. I guess I see this makes, as if it's a Sentinel sitting there, they won't be able to swing into like your Bobas or some of your other units on the ground. There's probably a lot more applications than I'm thinking for it. 3 Overwhelming Barrages, 2 Steadfast Battalions. That's very interesting. 3 Bosk, 3 Fet's Fire Spray, best ship in the game. And we got 3 Vaders coming down to cherry pick a lot of cards out of here. Actually, not that many. We only got 5, 8, 11. Yeah, so Vader is amazing. But like, when I Vader and I see 2 Fet's Fire Sprays that I got to put on the bottom of my deck, I am just like, gosh, it hurts so bad. All right, and so for the control matchup, when they Super Laser Blast you, you play the Emperor's Legion and just return everything that was destroyed back to your hand. I mean, it is some hand recursion, which is really, really good because if it is late game and you have put all those units out, your hand is probably going to be pretty depleted. And it allows you to resource more, I don't want to say recklessly, but more consistently, pretty much, because you can resource every turn knowing that later in the game when they do Super Laser Blast you, you can just use this to get back all those units, and then if you have been resourcing every single turn, you're both going to be on 8, you might be on 9, And yeah, you can just drop a whole up to 9 count of units back onto the field, which would be pretty amazing. 3 Star Vipers for the aggro, 1 more Steadfast Battalion in the side. Okay, so I wonder what they're thinking Steadfast is bad against. Maybe if they know it's an aggro ground deck that can't really lane dodge, then they throw the 3rd one in there so that they can make that turn 5 play. But yeah, Reinforcement Walker, which is absolutely amazing when you play it. It can swing the tide of a game. And Relentless, also for the control matchup, so that the first event that they play is nullified. Yeah, that was the second place deck. Now on to the top 4. So this was the Luke Green deck that took everything, took the whole tournament probably by surprise. Maybe less so than the Vader Blue. The thing that you got to know about Vader Blue is that Iden Blue was already considered one of the better decks, and they kind of really just took most of those cards and kind of put it in a deck that has just a heavier leader unit that comes out, honestly. I mean, obviously they did tweak and played amazing, but yeah, I would say the biggest surprise, maybe it's a hot take, maybe it's too hot for y'all, would be this Luke Green deck. All right, the Alliance Dispatcher, yeah, making your units cost a little bit less to come out is actually a small form of ramp, and you do still have the actual form of ramp in Resupply. So yeah, I can see that. I mean, you can drop a Luke 1 turn early. You can drop a lot of things. A Flute Lieutenant maybe 1 turn early. You're not really going to do that, but it does allow you to cheat out some things. Kanan Jarrus more specifically, and Obi-Wan and Luke probably. Oh, and excuse me, some of these large ships too. Actually, dropping a what is this? Home 1, no Bright Hope early is just can be very devastating. So they did play the 3 R2s. This is what is this? Restore Arc, the Luke, the Devotion for the healing. This on this is probably really, really good, or this on this if they're not playing into space very well. So Devotion on R2 or the Restored Arc probably is really, really strong. Or even Devotion on Yoda, right? And then they got the Akbar, obviously the Battlefield Marine, best vanilla unit in the game. Yeah. It reminds me of the days, and I just laugh because it reminds me of the days in Yu-Gi-Oh! When a 1900 vanilla monster was like amazing, and that's what I feel like this is. This might be actually an 1800 because they might come out with a 2 that's like a 4/3, and then that'd be like the 1900. Sorry, way off track here, but yeah. So 2 Yodas, 1 General Akbar. It is not a trap. He is coming out and he pops things. I mean, he's amazing, and he has Restore. We got the Echo-based Defenders, the Ramp, the Fleet Lieutenant with the Wing Leader. All I know is that whenever I play against a hero deck, like these 2 cards, they always have it somehow. I mean, like 6 of 50 cards, and every single time they have both. It's going to be turn 1, play this. Turn 2, play this. Turn 3, probably play this on this if I haven't already defeated it. It's like clockwork. Maybe I just need to start playing around it. Yeah, 3 Kanans, 1 Takedown, interesting one of. 3 Bright Hopes, Obies, Luke's, definitely need those. 2 U-Wing Reinforcements, 1 Redemption, find this very interesting. You would have to hold this card no matter what. That's why one-ofs that are super important in the late game are kind of a little bit iffy to me. I would rather play 2, just so A, I see it more, and B, if I see this early, I'm not just trying to hold it. Yeah, 2 home 1s. This is amazing too. More Restore, gives everything Restore, and you get to like pick up a unit from your discard pile. Broken. Looks like they were ready for the mill deck, so they had this, and you just put back 4 of your best cards, right? Just restock 4 of your best cards, and you're good. 3 Alarin in the side deck. I'm not sure what for. More heal, obviously. So probably goes in against aggro. But yeah, more heal. Always a good thing, more heal. And then 2 Star Vipers, probably for aggro. I'm not sure what the Scarif is for. And then to round it out, another home 1. I'd rather see this be another Redemption, personally. But I have not played this deck, and this person piloted it amazingly to a top 4 finish, something that I probably will not do, or might not have done in this tournament. Yeah, this is amazing. I could not take this deck and probably do that with it. rounding out the top 4, we have one more deck. They decided to do the, I guess they were at a picnic or something and decided to do a little deck profile on the picnic table. They forgot their leader and their base, but we do know for sure that it is Green Bean. Yeah, it is a swaggy deck. I cannot complain with that. They got a lot of hyperspaces in here, no hyperfoils, but it's looking spicy. Oh, sorry, they got the foil beans. The foil beans. All right, now I'm just distracted by seeing the actual cards. Maybe see that's why it's better to have it on SWODB. Okay, so I don't get distracted by pretty cards. All right, so you got the guy that stops Sentinels. That's pretty amazing, actually, because you can just flood your board. They put down a Sentinel. You kind of ignore it for a little while, play this, and then swing a whole bunch. Chaining these back to back can be really, really good too. 2 R2s. I'm not sure. Manipulate your top deck. Yeah, if only I could ask them. 3 of the 1800 beat stick. We got the Saboteur, and obviously, where's the Fleet Lieutenants, bro? Oh, Fleet Lieutenants are down here. Yeah. All right, I'm saying like I should have. Let me help you out when you make your deck like this. When you do it like this, put all the space up here, put all the ground down here, and then put all the events on the side. That's how we want to see it. All right, cool. So yeah, we got the Saboteur, we got the Fleet Lieutenant, we have the Beans, A-Wing, which is super duper strong, K2s. Okay, I see you with the hyperspace right there. Can be Green Bean without the battalion. And headed into space, we have Alliance, Red 3, Wing Leader, just so they can play heavy into space. 3 Dawns, 1 Rebel Assault. I guess it's like one of those cards that you can stack with For a Cause I Believe in. Yeah, but 2 Heroic Sacrifice with the 3 For a Cause. And then sitting over here for some reason is 3 Fighters for Freedom. And then we got our Medal Ceremonies. Our side is going to be saving the Fang Fighter for the Traitorous. That card is no bueno. Yeah, Traitorous is actually really, really good. U-Wing Reinforcements. We got another Bright Hope. Maybe that's 3 of them. I don't know, 3, 6, 8. Their extra deck is like 2, 4, 7. Okay, yeah, that's 2 Bright Hope. Sorry, can't count. Zebs and another Rebel Assault. So this tournament was pretty cool. Won by this Vader deck. I'm super happy about that. I've been wanting to play Vader Blue. I don't know about you, but thanks for checking it out. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. What cards do you think are going to be, you know, maybe going up? What decks do you think are going to be a little more competitive? How do we combat this? Is this actually better than Knight in Red? Let me know everything that you want to talk about. All right. So until next time, peace.